We begin with the newly released evidence. These are Jeffrey Epstein photos that are coming to light for the first time today. They feature powerful politicians, including from both parties, and some of the world's richest men. Now, this is part of 95,000 images that were lawfully provided under these further transparency pushes. And these came from Epstein's estate, from his computer, emails, and other documentation, under, as I mentioned, a lawful subpoena from Congress, specifically the House Oversight Committee. These are newly coming to light. We're going to give you context as you see them. It is one thing to read about and hear about some of these relationships. There's Steve Bannon, Trump ally with Woody Allen. Another thing to see them with your own eyes and make your own judgments. House Democrats released about 85 images. Some include Trump. One includes former President Clinton. Trump surrounded by women who are in, Hawaiian leis. Their faces redacted by the committee. Another one shows Trump with an unidentified woman. What you see here, very simply, sex trafficker Epstein holding the phone next to, close to him, flanking him, longtime Trump ally, former White House official, Steve Bannon. Now, we've reported on their extensive relationship, including their furtive secret efforts to, according to Bannon, help rehab Epstein's reputation. That included during a period where Trump was not having known contact with Epstein, and yet here was his ally helping him. And I have more on that later this hour as we dig through the context of some of these photographs. Here's a photo of President Bill Clinton, signed. You can see Epstein and his now convicted and imprisoned associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Jimmy Buffett, and his widow, we should mention. Now, one thing that's important about these photos, and anyone who's followed any type of journalistic investigative reporting where you have, say, one person accused of wrongdoing or convicted in the case of Maxwell and then other people, is being in the email, in the photo, or at the event, depending especially on the size of the event, does not tell you whether the other people are part of the alleged criminal activity. And that's an important distinction both in law and in fair journalism. We also have reporting that a source who knows where the House probe is headed says, quote, fewer than 1,000 images actually contain any nudity. That's from MS Now reporting. And again, if that makes this sound less salacious or exciting, so be it. But we want to fact check some of the claims and vows we've heard with what others say could be less than an explosive cachet coming. MS Now has obtained the cover letter from Epstein's estate. It said it was unable to confirm whether they were taken at the property owned, rented, operated, or used by Epstein. Now that matters because Epstein is dead. Those lawyers have a legal obligation to comply with subpoenas and tell the truth. Of course, you're always on the lookout for any potential cover-up, but that information could be helpful to some of the people pictured. Because again, as I mentioned, in fairness, if you are at an event in New York randomly or Miami or LA randomly that's not the Epstein estate, and you're in one photo, that could be different than flying out to meet him. Some photos we can identify the location. And if you are at a very small group gathering or intimate thing, that again could be different from other elements of how he lived his life.
Welcome back, guys. When news like this breaks, many people feel shocked, confused, and frustrated at the same time. The release of new photos from Jeffrey Epstein's estate has once again dragged a dark and unsolved story back into public view. These images shows powerful politicians and wealthy public figures from both major parties, and that alone is enough to trigger strong reactions across the country. The moment familiar names appear, emotions take over, and social media quickly turns speculation into accusation. It is important to slow down and think clearly. Being present in a photo with Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell doesn't automatically mean someone committed a crime. Epstein spent years building relationships with influential people. He attended parties, meetings, and fundraisers where many individuals crossed paths with him long before his crimes were fully exposed. A photograph captures a moment, not intent, actions, or knowledge, and confusing those things can cause serious harm. Still, these photos are deeply troubling because they highlight how close Epstein was to centers of power. The fact that his estate handed over around 95,000 images, while only a fraction has been shown publicly, naturally raises suspicions. People want to know what remains hidden and why the full collection has not been released. The absence of written explanations or background information makes it even harder to understand what these images actually shows or why they were taken. The political reaction has only increased tension. Claims that photos are being cherry-picked or selectively reducted have created distrust. If transparency is the goal, then the process must be consistent and fair. Releasing information in pieces can shape narratives before all facts are known, and that damages credibility. The public deserves a complete picture, not fragments that fuel outrage while leaving key questions unanswered. This issue also connects to earlier promises. Leaders publicly vowed to release all Epstein related files, and laws were signed that appeared to mandate disclosure. Now a firm now a firm deadline is approaching and the Department of Justice faces serious pressure. When lawmakers say missing that deadline could itself be a crime, it shows how high the stakes have become. This is no longer just a media controversy but a test of legal accountability. Another critical concern is the protection of innocent people. Redacting faces, especially those of women who may be victims or unrelated bystanders, is essential. Publishing images without context can permanently damage reputations and re traumatize individuals who had no role in Epstein's crime. Justice should never come at the cost of harming people who did nothing wrong, and caution is necessary even when transparency is demanded. The mention of other famous figures such as businessmen, leaders, and entertainers reinforces how wide Epstein's network was. Some have admitted that meeting him was a serious mistake and claim the interactions were related to professional or charitable matters. Whether those explanations are accepted or doubted, they reveal a large failure. Epstein used wealth, accesses, and influence to move freely, and systems that should have raised alarms did not act in time. That leads to the most important questions. Instead of asking how can be accused next, society should ask how the situation was allowed to continue for so long. How did institutions fail to protect vulnerable people? How did warning signs get ignored? And why, years later, is fully transparency still so difficult to achieve? These questions matter more than political point scoring. If the remaining Epstein files are released, it must be done fully, carefully, and responsibly. Information should not be weaponized for partisan advantage, nor should it be hidden to protect the powerful. Facts should be pretended with context, allowing, allowing investigators and the public to understand what is relevant and what is not. Only then can trust being to be rebuilt. This story is painful because it reminds us that power can shield abuse, while victims are often pushed to the background. The focus must return to accountability, prevention, and reform. The goal should be to ensure that exploitation like this cannot happen again, regardless of who is involved. People deserve truth, but they also deserve fairness. Transparency without responsibility creates chaos, and secrecy without accountability creates injustice. The path, the path forward requires balance, courage, and honesty so that in the end truth is revealed not for revenge but for justice, closure, and lasting change. It is also worth remembering that public outrage, while understandable, should not replace careful investigation. History has shown many times that rushing to judgment can destroy lives and distract from real wrongdoing. The legal system exists to separate evidence from assumption, and that process takes time. The release of information should support justice, not undermine it. If mistakes were made, they should be acknowledged openly. If crimes were committed, they should be prosecuted without hesitation or political fear. Public trust depends on patience, facts, integrity, accountability, and law itself. Thanks for watching my video. I will see you in the next video.